office to do it than the office of the Attorney General to be able to help. And I do hope that anti-corruption agencies would have access, view-only basis, to the information that is available in order to be able to validate and verify exactly what is the landscape with regards to asset recovery. The next leg of it, of course, is management. Anti-corruption agencies are not particularly well primed to manage recovered assets. It's not the core function. It's easy to arrest, it's easy to prosecute, but managing assets of different variations is a completely different issue. And I think that that's the next leg, and that has to be professionalized. It is penny wise, pound foolish to spend a lot of money to recover assets and then they waste. And I think that anybody who visits a typical high court premises and you see vehicles that have been seized, 5-8 or whatever, dotting the landscape, it tells you how not to manage recovered assets. The problem, of course, is not with cash. Cash ends up in a bank. Since 2015, under this government, it's always been put in central bank. The problem is with physical assets, especially perishables. And so this is critical to have information on what is available and all that. This, of course, is without prejudice whatsoever to the existing powers of anti-corruption agencies to investigate and to do the recovery, while waiting for government to fast-track the leaving of the burden of management, which can be very expensive. For example, the ICPC has assets recovered all across the country. You have to validate assets that are merely under seizure pending investigation and assets that are finally forfeited. And I think it will help to eliminate a lot of the misgivings and the allegations of looting and relooting of assets, besides building the confidence of the international community in Nigeria's approach. The second part of today's ceremony is about criminal records information management, which is also critical, a statutory requirement under the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. Who else can keep records of what is going on? But there are things that need to happen before we have any record that is reliable. I think that first, all the anti-corruption agencies must be digitized. Records of who is arrested, when you are arrested, who is on bail, who is in prison, and stuff like that. All of the information, crime data register that the law anticipates we should have. This is the 20th century to leave prehistoric and move in with the future. Hoping that this will be driven by blockchain so that you cannot modify. And it also implies that the Attorney General will follow this up by ensuring that every law enforcement agency has the infrastructure to take the record. You need biometrics. It must be online. We must profile those who come in. At ICPC, we've introduced all of this and all that. And it must feed into a server. That server cannot be modified, so that everybody can know if you've been the customer of the police, of DSS, one click of a button, we can tell. We can tell. That is critical. Not just those who are in prison, but those who are being processed through the Criminal Justice Administration. It is a lot of capital that is required to build, but it must be done based on consultation. It's something that we have a lot of thought process to. And as I said, we have a whole new technology and infrastructure around this at ICPC. I welcome anybody to challenge me to come and visit. You'll find it's very recent, but we are not just alone. We need that to feed into what the Attorney General is doing. We want the police to be able to have access to it, and we want to see what the police has, so that when somebody is our customer, we can validate or verify whether he has also been the customer of EFCC or of ICPC. I want to commend the initiative of the Attorney General. It's just the beginning. It's a marathon, and we have just started with a small pace. Thank you very much.